Hey guys, two little promotions. I'm thinking about doing a reading fan fiction little series where I read fan fiction on this channel, and I am here to promote a little series that we are doing, me and Galaxy Doge, on the side. We already have a couple voice actors for it, and if you want to know more about it, it will be in the description. Now let's get on to the Keck and Cringe. Welcome everyone back to Keck and Cringe. Let me take a little sip. Not really a sip, but let's get into the Keck and Cringe, shall we? Today we will be talking about ships, gamer powers, and X-readers. You know, the greatest cringe to ever happen in fanfiction. Trust me, it actually isn't, but it's still pretty cringy, so we're gonna talk about it. You know, this is the cringy channel, so we talk about cringe. I'm also eating a muffin. Okay. We're getting right into the gamer powers. Probably the most overpowered thing I've seen in a fan fiction. Basically, the, basics of it is, using RPG logic, I can somehow get Super Saiyan and all other anime powers by gaining XP in the real life. And, don't get me wrong, I am a huge fan of the RPG genre. Pokemon, World of Warcraft, you name it. I've played it. Probably haven't. I haven't played that many RPGs, but I do like them. But it just does not work, if we're being serious for 1 second. It does not work in most fan fictions. Like, if you were doing an SAO fan fiction, maybe. But if you're putting it in the world of, Naruto, Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, all these other anime, it's just way overpowered, and it kind of ruins the main characters that are there. It makes them weak and just kind of useless to the story. And I've noticed that a lot of stories do this with OCs or just created characters. They tend to make them, a lot of the times I've seen, way overpowered. And basically just trash tier people, and that's not good. And they make everyone trash tier and make themselves god tier. And we're gonna dive right back into it. I'm gonna grab another bite of my muffin. I honestly don't really know how much I can get into how bad just the gamer power genre is. All it is I'm going to have pretty much any power you can imagine, make myself OP, and what usually makes these gamer fan fictions even worse is they usually have harems, and you all know how I feel about harems. I hate them. Well, at least the genre in fan fiction, because it's so poorly taken care of, and it just feels forced and bad and everything. But let's skip that and let's get, back into some of the stuff we're talking about. And this time we'll go into ships. Ships. Everyone loves them. That's a lie. Sometimes you can somewhat see the chemistry that people try to force down your throat when it becomes a ship war, and then other times it makes no sense at all, like Bakugo x Izuku. Or, let me try to think of another weird one, Aang x Zuko. I know that isn't really anime for some people, but I consider it an anime myself. It's just a preference thing. If you don't think it's an anime, that's all good to you. Trying to think of another anime ship that just really didn't make sense to me. Cause there's quite a few that I run into, like Naruto and Fu. And Fu is the Seven Tails Jinchuriki, if I remember correctly. Green hair, had the beetle tailed beast. yeah, it didn't really make any sense because they didn't really meet each other except for the one time when she was a reanimated zombie from the reanimation jutsu. And yeah, they created a whole fan fiction of them being together. It was just kind of weird because they never really interacted. And people get really defensive of their ships, I've noticed. Like, really defensive. Like, I've seen people out here about to start World War III over ships. Like, I am not that big of a ship person myself. There's very, very few times where I'm like, oh, I think they would look good together. And then people are like, oh, you just made a ship. And I'm like, oh, cool, I guess. But I'm not like, this is canon. I don't create head canons like most people do, apparently. I don't know if it's just me, if I'm just weird and everyone else is the sane and normal person with having all these headcanons, but not me. I don't headcanon characters together, especially when I don't think they belong together. Like, I can see where some people are going with, Zuko and Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I could see some of the chemistry, but again, there's others that I don't see at all. Kind of like Bakugo and Kirishima. Apparently, a lot of people can see chemistry between them from My Hero Academia. So far, I haven't really seen anything. Then again, I'm only in Season 2 right now. I just kind of started getting into My Hero Academia. But I've seen a lot of ships going around about them. And then there's the straight up just sick ships, like Kakashi x Naruto, All Might x Izuku. The underaged with the overaged, if you will, in a sense, pairing. A minor and a very much older partner. It's just weird to me. You could have your ships, people. I'm not going to be like, hey, you have ships, I'm going to just tear you a new one because you like two characters together. No, I'm just saying I would appreciate it if you probably just didn't do ones that were so freakishly outlandish. And if people do call out on it's freakishly outlandish, probably try not to bite off their head. I mean, that's just a little bit from me, nothing too important. So, I don't necessarily, hate ships, but I do think that people try to protect their ships a little too hard. I mean, I don't want to be that person and be like, it's just a fictional character, you shouldn't be this attached, because that would just be downright lying. Everyone has some sort of emotional attachment to a fictional character in pretty much any medium, whether it be film, comics, books, etc. You get the idea. So, I'm not going to be that guy that's kind of just like, it's, fiction, get over it. Because I can understand where they're coming from. I mean, it's why I personally teared up the first time I watched Avengers Endgame, and saw Tony die. Iron Man R.I.P. Because you do get attached to these characters, so I can see why some people would get angry if you were to say, hey, it's just a fictional character, get over it. But, again, having two characters that have zero chemistry, I don't really see why you would even ship them. Mostly when ships happen, they happen because they have some sort of chemistry or something in common, and a lot of the ships that I've seen, they either have zero commability or you just... It makes no sense a lot of times is what I'm trying to say, and I think I've gotten that out pretty good. If not, I probably sound crazy right now, and to be fair, it is 11-something, I think, right now. I have not slept in about 2 days. I've just been trying to work some stuff out. So yeah, I have been pretty busy. So that's why this probably sounds a little strange coming out. A little editor's note, I guess. So as I said, a lot of the ships that I have seen either have nothing in common or have no real chemistry, so I don't really see why they would ship them. Now that that is over, we will go into the very end of this video. X-Readers, the true cringe. Not really. Because I think that might go to the ships, maybe, so far on what we've done in this episode. X-Readers is where if you ever wanted to be with a video game character, don't know why I stuttered right there, whether it be Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 3, or Sakura, of all people. Apparently, you know, she is not supposed to have fans, except I've come on a lot of X-Readers of Sakura. I think maybe they're just memes, because everyone knows from Lord Nexanor himself that no one likes Sakura. I mean, honestly, who likes Sakura? No one likes Sakura. Okay, let's get off that tangent. But, yeah, there's just a bunch of X-Readers, and it obviously isn't sexist, my good friends. Chris Redfield from Resident Evil also has his fair share of X-Readers, and Leon S. Kennedy, and Naruto and Sasuke also have X-Readers. Todoroki, Cooler Todoroki, aka Zuko, the original, has readers. X-Readers. Aang has an X-Reader. Every character from pretty much any show, cartoon, and anime, and movie that I've ever watched has an X-Reader. Ultron has an X-Reader from Avengers Age of Ultron. Like, what? He is a robot. Why? Who is he hooking up with? Like, for real, what the heck? And I think one of the biggest cringe things about these X-Readers is how edgy they make them. Whether it be them being slaves, or the very, very common in the X-Reader community, abused by your parents and betrayed. Like, it's pretty cringe. So, betrayed stories are a thing of their own. They'll be in their own entry of Fanfiction cringe saga. But I think I've gotten into this as far as I want to today. I kind of tore into a little bit of everything that I wanted to in this video, and it kind of just shows you. And the fanfiction community is mixed. There's a lot of good, but then there's a lot of cringe, toxic people on it, which I will get into, don't you worry, in the next fanfiction cringe saga. Thank you for watching. Bye.